welcome our virtual water cooler friends to the 32nd episode of Into the Filmverse. I'm Mytchel Chandler.
And I'm Bryce Payne.
And to join us as we discuss movie news, new movie releases, and various bits of content we watched throughout the week. Our main top films today are Spiral, Army of the Dead, and Se7en. You can keep up with our reviews. Follow us on Letterboxd, where we post all of our reviews for all the films we watch throughout the week. You can find me, Mytchel Chandler, at Mytch Reviews, and that's MYTCH.
You can find me, Bryce Payne, at Payne Reviews, Payne Reviews.
And before we dive into our weekly movie watches, we like to go off the top with some of our recent movie news. So Snake Eyes came out with the trailer. Bryce, I know you didn't get a chance to watch this yet, but
I'm not a big G.I. Joe fan, so I probably won't watch it even when I get a chance, because I just don't care.
Oh, you mean the trailer? I thought you were saying the movie. I'm like, how dare you?
No, you're gonna make me see the movie. I don't have a choice in that.
Yeah, that's fair. No, so you haven't seen the other G.I. Joe films, you're telling me, right?
Not a single one.
They're actually pretty. I mean, well, sorry, I haven't seen them in forever, so I don't actually know if they're good still, but I know the Snake Eyes trailer looked like a lot of fun. It just looked like, today's action. You can just, you can tell it's upped its game a lot. And that's basically all it looked like. It was just good action.
Well, that's a good thing, I guess. I don't know. I'm just like, I don't even know what it'd be about. And so I'm
yeah,
kind of like,
I didn't really get a gist of a story through it. I just it was like, literally it was a minute, and it was just like showing the character a little bit, and then the action.
They're like, hey, look, your favorite G.I. Joe character is getting a movie. Be happy.
Apparently, though, a lot of people are mad because this character, in canon or whatever, all the G.I. Joe stuff, Snake Eyes is a character that doesn't have a face. Like he's always wearing a mask, and
so
he doesn't speak.
Salty that he's like the main character.
Yeah, and he doesn't speak either. So now he's speaking and has his mask off, and people are mad about that. And I'm like, I don't care. You can't make a movie. You can't make a movie with somebody that doesn't talk. You don't see their face. I mean, like Mandalorian, you need to show their face.
Taskmaster.
We don't know he doesn't talk yet. He talks in the comics and in the shows and stuff I've seen.
Yeah, but we don't know in the movie.
Well, not yet, but I'm sure he'll talk.
We don't even know who plays fucking him yet.
Fair. That is interesting. Anyway, so that was an interesting bit of tidbit that came out. But there's two big stories that came out this week. One is, so both relating to movie studios and selling and purchasing. The first big one is that AT&T sold WarnerMedia to Discovery for $43 billion.
Man, I wish I had that much money just to throw at something.
Right. The biggest thing, obviously, it's hard to explain. There's a lot that goes into this, but basically, like what Warner Brothers owns, WarnerMedia owns Warner Brothers and various other things, like an HBO Max. Basically, their whole shebang is getting sold from who AT&T owned them, and now Discovery and WarnerMedia are merging together.
What's on Discovery that's worth a damn?
You'd think that, right? Because but there's a lot of people that are on like Discovery. It's a lot of reality TV shows or reality stuff.
That sounds boring as hell.
I know to us it does, but they actually have quite a big apparently they have a big subscriber base, and I'm like, interesting, okay.
Yeah, that's a little. I'm like, that's not something I would be interested in, but I guess I could see why other people would want that to be good. I mean,
so that'll be interesting to see how things shake out on that. And then Amazon, of course, the big conglomerate they are, is looking to acquire Mgm Studios for $9 billion. So the lion.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. I'm like, what does MGM have?
I always forget. I was like, I know they probably have a lot because I just see the things everywhere.
They're a huge series, but I'm like, what do they have?
Yeah, but that's just interesting. It's just interesting to me mostly to see all these studios being like changed up and bought, especially like after the pandemic and everything.
Yeah, I guess.
It just everything's getting shaken up a little bit, and because with the whole thing with Disney and Fox, we're just now kind of getting through like the. We haven't even seen X-Men or Fantastic Four films yet, so once we get to those, then it'll start to feel real a little bit. But
I'm trying to find things from MGM, but it doesn't show up when you look up MGM.
It's probably just showing the hotel in Vegas.
No, it's like MGM, but it's not like actual MGM.
Oh. Well, with those down, we're gonna venture onto some of our weekly movie watches. Bryce, we had talked last week how we were gonna watch the new Spiral film with Chris Rock. You had seen it 3 times, 2 times if you're listening, Jada, and
she doesn't listen.
I know, just in case. So I want to first start out. What did you first think of it, and then did your viewing experience go down at all?
Okay, so I'm a huge Saw fan. I have the puzzle piece tattooed on my wrist and shit. Like I'm really into it. The first time watching it, yeah, it's everything I thought it was gonna be. I mean, not saying I went in with like high expectations because it is Saw, so like I was like, you have very base stuff you have to meet to be like a decent Saw film,
Right?
Like, gotta have good traps, interesting characters, somewhat interesting. I mean, like not overly, but somewhat. Gotta have an interesting twist.
Right.
This film delivered on the.
I would say 2 or 3. Well, I want to say, it's hard because like the traps that they showed us were good, but they weren't. There wasn't enough.
Yeah, but you know, interesting enough, I was going through the other Saw films, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know how we thought there wasn't enough traps in Saw and Spiral?
Right.
That's like the normal amount of traps in a Saw movie.
Is it maybe because they last longer?
I think so, yeah. Because like I was thinking about it, I was like, because in Saw 2, you have the gun door, the furnace, you have the needle pit, the razor wrist, and that's it.
Yeah, no. See,
there's 4.
There's a fundamental difference between the traps in this film and the traps in other films. The traps in this film felt very much as just a way to murder somebody rather than a way to actually get out of it. And plus, they were so short that it didn't feel like there was any actual choice for the person in it. And not even that. I didn't even care about the people that were in the traps. I honestly wanted them to die.
So here's another thing though. Because my little sister, after I took her to this, we were discussing this. John Kramer's traps are all the ones that are able to be escaped. They're all the ones that, like, there's ways to get out, but they're kind of fucked up, but you can get out.
Right.
When they're not made by John Kramer, they're almost impossible to escape every single time.
Yeah, nobody, exactly. That's why I like the original Saw ones, because they can actually get out of them.
Yeah, because nobody thinks the way John Kramer does. They're just like, they're murdering people. They're just using the traps as like a cover kind of thing.
Right.
So that's why in Spiral, like, people couldn't escape. I was like, you know, it kind of makes sense, but I'm also like, it was feigned. Yeah, you don't want them to escape, but you know that he's doing this just because this John Kramer's legacy.
Yeah, the whole reason, the beginning of the Saw, and the whole reason that he was doing it in the first place was because he wanted to be able to show people that, like, they realize why they need to live. Pretty much, right?
Prove
that you're worth living.
Yeah,
but so the thing is that he wanted people to get out of the traps, and that's the whole point.
That's why it works. That's why some
of
the traps are like really simple to get out of when you stop and think about it, but they're like really fucked up if they just rush through. But like
it loses its charm when you just kind of like it's just gore porn. I don't know. For me, that's why I kind of when you go into the later films, I kind of just get like, this is stupid, because I was watching a scene from Saw 6. We were talking about this earlier, where the guy had to cut fat off himself, and then there was a skinny chick who actually cut off her arm.
Yeah, and it was just like that trap was made by Hoffman though, and Hoffman didn't care if they lived or died.
Right, exactly, and it just loses its whole. And plus, not even that. It wasn't even that, but it was also just the point of them getting in the trap and then realizing what they were in, and she was just straight went chopping her arm off. Like, no sane person would just go straight chop off their arm off, you know.
I don't know. I just think the movies are fun.
No, I mean, there's a thing to say about that too. I mean, you can just have fun with them as they are. But my whole point though is that it was just like in this one, it just felt like they weren't used for torture porn, perhaps, but they were just used for a device to move the plot forward.
They were kind of just like a connecting piece to the Saw franchise. They weren't like this movie is very much not a. God, how did the director word this? He said it is not a Saw film. It is a Chris Rock film set in the Saw universe.
Fair.
Which, I mean, I haven't seen a lot of Chris Rock films other than like some comedies, so it don't make sense to me. But I'm also like,
I see. My issue with this is that I called the villain at the beginning.
I called the villain when I saw the one
scene.
scene.
Right. Honestly, no. I called it as soon as I heard his name. I was like, "That's the villain." And I don't know if most people will, but just for some reason, it just struck me odd. Like, that's his name. Nah, he's the villain.
Man, I had a whole different reason. But I mean, okay, so the first time watching it, I liked it. I don't know. It's what I thought it was gonna be, a detective film set in the Saw universe.
Oh, I definitely enjoyed it.
Like, I had no issues with it. It's just I think people are gonna go into it expecting a Saw film, and it's definitely not a Saw film. Like, even the director, who is the director of 2, 3, and 4, has stated this is not a Saw film.
Right.
This is a film in the Saw universe.
Yeah, that's why it's like spiral from the Book of Saw. Right?
That's why he said that they have Saw 10 in the works right now, but they
like not Spiral sequel, just an actual Saw 10.
What he's said is there might be a sequel to Jigsaw, like Jigsaw 2, which I know that you're like. I saw your face.
Well,
you're
I've
like,
never seen Jigsaw, so I can't be that face. But
Jigsaw though is a direct sequel to the Saw series,
right?
So he's like, there might be a Jigsaw 2, or it might be a Spiral 2. So like 2 different franchises in the.
I'd be interested in seeing a Spiral 2 because even though I didn't quite enjoy what was going on, I wouldn't say enjoy. I enjoyed everything that happened in the film. It was just like, I don't know. I still give it 3.5 stars. So I guess I don't know what I'm complaining about, but
I will say the second time watching it, I was starting to notice nitpick shit, and I was like, "That's stupid."
Also, it could have been more.
I'm gonna let you know into this one scene that happens. This is no spoilers. This is a scene where God, I can't remember his name. The Chris Rock's partner is calling him from his house, right?
Right.
And he's in that white t-shirt, and he has his arm up, and he has armpit hair sticking underneath his sleeves, and it is the most distracting fucking thing after you notice it. Because like each time I watched it after like I noticed it, I was like, why?
So much armpit hair,
dude. It's everywhere. It's just like sticking out like four or five strands of armpit hair, and I was like, why though? Like,
all natural.
It's such a stupid thing to be nitpicky about, but it distracts the fuck out of me now that I've seen it.
That's funny.
And then we discussed one of the traps where I just get annoyed because the person does stupid shit, and I'm like,
right. I mean,
it makes no logical sense. Once again, we're not spoiling anything. I'm just being vague about shit.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, why would you do that? That's stupid as fuck. And I will also say the twist, it was okay for what this film was, but I saw it coming from a mile away. I will say though, the final trap, pretty cool.
The more I think about it, and this film reminds me of, is that when I go to a theater or go to see a movie or want to watch a movie, I really want to be like blown away. And I know that's probably not every movie's gonna be able to do that. But this is one of the ones where I'm just like, I was just waiting for it to kick it up another level, and it never did.
I will say, man, 3 times watching this, right? 3 times, it never got slow.
No,
when I was watching this one, Jada, and it got to like where the final traps were about to happen, I was like, shit, we're already here. Like I barely drank any of my soda. I was just sitting there chilling, and I was like, this movie goes so fast that it's already at the end. Holy shit!
Wow. It's only an hour and 40, right?
It's an hour and a half.
You're around half. Yeah, I mean, it definitely moves. It definitely moves. And that's not what I meant as far as like pacing wise.
It's the dialogue, the time in between traps. Some of the scenes, I'm like, okay, this is a spoiler. It's on YouTube. Like they released this. The first time you see Chris Rock in her office, and she's out there yelling at him, and she's like, "I have a heat wave, rolling blackouts." I'm like, why do we give a fuck? Like that has nothing. And then it's so awkward sounding when she says it, and I was like,
yeah, that had nothing to do with the film.
This dialogue just like feels off.
Yeah, I think it was just to create tension, which is whatever.
I will say they really underutilized Samuel L. Jackson, and it made me sad.
That I will agree with that. Yeah, Sam Jackson was not as much in this film as I wanted him to be.
Like he was such a prominent part of the trailers, and like
I know he was
that question in the trailer where they're like, "Marcus, what's his name? It's not Marcus.
Detective Banks.
Detective Banks. Do you know where
your father is?" And that was like at the end of the film.
And they didn't even say it.
Oh, it didn't, did it?
No. 3 times, and I was like, they never said that line from the thing. Like, they made that like it was going to be such a big plot point.
Do you know where your father is? Yeah, plus the voice was a little weird, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I didn't like the voice. I didn't like the puppet either, but the puppet paid off in the end, so I was like,
yeah.
It's like, all right. But no, I mean, I hope that they make a sequel. It'll be more...
They definitely left it open for a sequel, I'll say that.
I really hope there is one, because I really want to see like more of Chris Rock's character, but I want to see him
I just want to see more of Chris Rock in general. He's not been around in a while, and like after seeing this, I'm like, you know what? Bring it back, bro. Like for some reason I thought you were just a comedian and a donkey, and like he was donkey. Right?
Zebra, Marty, and Madagascar.
Oh right. Who's
Eddie Murphy?
Oh okay. No, I was like, I caught myself. I was like, wait, that's not right.
Yeah, but no, I enjoyed this movie for everything it is. I'm definitely not watching it for a while, but
especially if you watched it 3 times in theater, Jesus.
No, but like, I mean, I watched it 4 times.
Okay, but there's a difference between wanting to watch a film that you want to watch. I mean, did you watch it on purpose the 4 times? I mean, okay, obviously you didn't.
It was the only movie in theaters, and I liked it, so we were gonna go.
Okay, that's fair.
I like Spiral though. I just like. I think.
Have you watched Deadpool 10.5 times in theater? I would go do it again, like ASAP too. If Deadpool came out in theater, like let's go.
He just wanted to take me because I can quote the whole film.
Jesus Christ! Actually, we did do that, didn't we?
Yeah.
God, that hurt my soul. But then we did see Harry Potter, and you did the same thing, and I was like, you need help.
But we were drunk that time, so it was okay.
Fair. I think we were only the ones in the theater, too.
You know, Alicia's mom was in the theater with us?
When?
When we saw Harry Potter, and she told Alicia that there was 2 guys in the back just wouldn't stop laughing.
Oh my gosh, really? That was us. That's amazing. That's hilarious. I love that. How'd you even find that out?
Because I was telling her that you and I took shooters before we saw Harry Potter, and then we were just laughing through the entire thing. She's like, "Bro, my mom went to that."
Oh my gosh, that is amazing.
About you guys.
Well, I apologize to Alicia's mom. Usually, I'm not like that when I go to a theater. I'll just tell you that right now. We're usually not the people that do that, but that day happened to be one of those.
It was Harry Potter. I've seen it like 30 times.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. I couldn't. Yeah,
I just wanted to see it in theaters.
Well, so Spiral down. That I mean, that was a solid film. I would still recommend checking it out.
I'd recommend it, but don't go in expecting a Saw film.
I wouldn't go in expecting a torture porn film.
No, it's definitely a detective.
I guess that's why you. Is that what you mean by Saw film?
Yeah, it's definitely a detective film with the Saw universe. I wouldn't even I don't even classify it as a horror movie. Really,
it really has nothing to do with the original Saw franchise, other than like just the thematic.
They just
barely
dropped John Kramer's name once.
Yeah. So, well, speaking of more dead stuff, we also watched the new film, Zack Snyder film, Army of the Dead. Bryce, I'm gonna let you jump in on this first. You didn't enjoy this film as much as I did, but then again, we're pretty much on the same page for the most part. But
I enjoyed most of it. Like there were scenes like, oh god, let's get into this. All right, so Dave Bautista, solid. He's solid in this film. But I mean, I
hadn't seen anything other than Drax, obviously. So
sometimes his acting comes off kind of rough, but this one I thought he was okay with. It fit his style.
He has Rock style potential for me, as far as like Rock or even Vin Diesel-ish.
The whole premise of like a heist going into a quarantine zombie infected zone, down with. That's cool as fuck.
See, okay, everything that they brought out, like the whole premise of what Zack Snyder created was bonkers. It was cool. They just did not deliver on any of it.
There's so many scenes where I was like, oh, that's pretty dope. Like there's like, it's minor spoilers. Not going to go into too much in the plot, but like there's a scene where they get in there and like a fucking tiger shows up, like a zombified tiger.
Okay, I like the tiger.
And I was like, that's fucking dope.
That
doesn't make any goddamn sense.
I thought you were going to complain about it, and I was like, that's my favorite part, bro. I love the tiger.
I was like, that makes no goddamn sense in the form of the zombie apocalypse, right?
I think so. I mean, think about it, though.
Where's the other zombie animals?
You're in Vegas.
Where's the other zombie animals? There's only two of them. Where's the other ones?
They were in Vegas on the Strip.
You tell me the birds can't get zombified? Where's the zombie apocalypse outside with the birds?
All right, fair, okay.
If you're gonna make one animal a zombie, you gotta make every animal a zombie.
They only had so much budget. I'm just kidding. I don't know. But no, that's a good point.
The beginning of the film kind of felt.
Dude, wait, hold up. That's a great idea for a film though. A zombie zoo movie. Wouldn't that fucking be like awesome? Like fucking what was it? We bought a zoo, but we bought a zombie zoo. Anyway, sorry.
But I like the heist film. The crew was fun. I thought each one had their own personality. Each one was enjoyable in their own way. I will say there's some I enjoyed way more than others that I was like, you don't need to be in here, but whatever.
So one of the crew members was Dave Bautista's daughter, and she was kind of annoying at first, but I kept looking at her. I'm like, I swear I know this chick from. For some reason, I kept thinking she was Dora. I was like, that's not right. Like then I kept looking at her, and I'm like, I know this chick, but I was like, I feel like I'm just saying that because she looks like she just looks familiar, and so I'm like, whatever. But it bothered me. Like, and I got home, I looked it up, and she was Kick-Ass's girlfriend. Anybody that knows me knows I'm a huge Kick-Ass fan. So I was like, that's where I know her from.
She was my least favorite character in this because she served no purpose and just caused issues.
I honestly didn't have any least favorite characters. I thought she was fine. Her acting at some points was kind of like weird. Like I don't know if she's that great of an actor. I really can't tell.
What character makes some of those decisions in Zombie Apocalypse, bro?
No, it was kind of silly. Like, not gonna lie.
She's like, there's a nuke dropping in 20 minhes. Let me leave. Like,
okay, I guess,
bitch, come on.
The dialogue and the actions that they gave them was sketchy.
The locksmith dude, best character. He was adorable as fuck. I loved him.
He was adorable.
I like the African American dude, the buff one with the saw.
Yeah, he was
cool. The pilot, I wish I got to see more of her.
She reminded me of Ellen. I don't know why. Like maybe it's just the way she talked.
Dude, she reminded me of what's her name from Halloween? The woman who played Laurie Strode. I'm blanking on her name.
Halloween. Oh my god, you mean the main chick? The main chick of Halloween?
I can't remember.
Bro, why was my brain blanking?
Because I'm getting her confused with someone else, and I'm like, I know it's not that person, so I'm like,
you gotta look this up real quick.
I'm like, I know for a fact it's not her, so I'm like, I don't want to say it and then be wrong.
Oh, I know it's not her, but
her name is
It's like a really famous
Jamie
name.
Lee Curtis.
Yeah, that's it.
That's who she reminded me of. She just always looked like Jamie Lee Curtis to me.
That's fair. Yeah, no, it's like I said, like you said, the characters were all pretty well rounded. But the writing was lame.
The dialogue sometimes, like they would stop and discuss things. I'm like, this is not the time to have this discussion.
Yeah, just random points where they just like, there's like some impending thing they got to do before they die, and then like they're like stop and have this 3-minute conversation in the middle of an apocalypse. I'm like, bro.
Or there was a lot of scenes though that were like really sudden. That I was like, holy shit, they just did that. Like the elevator scene, you know, when you and I were both like, holy shit.
That was pretty cool. See, here's my like weird thing with this film, because there's a lot of points in it where I'm like, this is really awesome. This is really cool. It's new. It's funny. And then there's some points where it's just like, why are you making that decision? This is the worst. Like, this is cliche. This is like, you know, this is a dumb writing decision. And it's just, it kept going back and forth between that. And I'm like, I don't know. But then again, the action, every time there was an action scene, I have to give it props. It was fun.
Oh, yeah,
it was fun.
Action scenes were amazing. You know what I thought about a lot through in this movie? Like there was a scene where like the locksmith dude, because his job is breaking the vault, and he's like, I need silence, and they all just stay down there, right? And all I can think about is like, there's a casino on upstairs. Go upstairs, play some slots or something. Like have
oh my gosh,
have like a Suicide Squad moment where they're all bonding, like fucking playing poker or something.
Right?
Some more attachments to characters instead of them just standing around being like,
the zombies pretty cool.
Money.
Yeah, right. And well, I'm not gonna get in how I want to say it too, because it kind of bothers me about the. Yeah, and I don't know, but the whole so the whole like the main premises of everything they brought up in the beginning, they never panned out, and that's why it just bothered me so much a lot. There's only one thing that kind of like gave me chills. Oh, and also there was a scene in this film, and I'm not gonna say which characters, but where somebody was dying, which you would expect in apocalypse or zombie film. And it was straight up like a dead, in the scene of end of Deadpool 2, when he's laying there and he's like, I'm gonna go now, I'm gonna die, and then he like it takes like 5 minutes for him to die. That was exactly the scene to a T. He just like the person that was dying, and then just would not die for like 5 minutes, and we're like, oh my god, I was sitting there like, oh my god, get on with it, just die.
Mitchell, what'd you give this movie?
I gave it 3 stars. Just because it was at 3.5, but then there's too many, just like which is like a pretty solid good time, but there was just too many like writing errors, so and like just cliches, and so I gave it a 3, which is just like an average film.
I gave it 2.5.
That's fair.
But my review says was to the gist of Zack Snyder saw James Gunn was getting his direct Suicide Squad and got jealous, so he decided to direct his own version with zombies.
I mean, it really is though, Suicide Squad. It might as well be. And plus, he stole Dave Bautista. He might as well have, honestly.
That's what it reminded me of through the entire movie. Like every single time something would happen, I'd be like, "This is just fucking."
Speaking of Zack Snyder, though,
like Suicide Squad, bro.
It really was though. I mean, there's a lot of. I mean, it really, really was though. There was some scenes in this where I was very like, that's a very Zack Snyder shot. Like you could just tell.
Oh yeah, his filmography is extremely like you fucking know. Like there were scenes where I was like, it was dark, and I was like, yeah, it's definitely Zack Snyder.
Like, I was sitting there, and I'm like, yeah, you can feel Zack Snyder's like Snyder coming out in this, and it's like kind of like in the same when you watch a Quentin Tarantino movie, like you're watching a Quentin Tarantino movie. It was very much like that.
I saw a review on Letterboxd that said, "Cinema is back, baby." And all I could think about was like, where the fuck have you been for the past like 6 months?
It's weird though, because like a lot of places, like here, there's a lot of places that haven't had movie theaters open.
You know what?
So,
well, all I can think about was like, this sounds like one of those dudes that would watch Fast 9 and be like, this is a 5-star movie.
Yeah, I don't want to associate with those people.
Vroom, go to Go Feast.
Gotta go fast. Gotta get my magnet. Go to space. Oops. So.
Mitchell, you just have to make it like one more month, bro.
No, I don't care.
It's been a year. You can make it one more.
Gotta go fast. No, they had that in the trailer. They had that in the trailer. Remember, they just put out a trailer where they were in a rocket.
If we have listeners, they definitely know what happened, and they know what.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, so I also watched Those Who Wish Me Dead. This is that new nope.
Angelina Jolie.
Thanks. That's what I was thinking. Angelina Jolie.
Got you.
Angelina Jolie film. John Bernthal's in it. He's awesome in the film. I guess it was, I forgot the guy's name that made it, but apparently he's some director that does a really, really good films most of the time, and I've never heard of him before. The film was, halfway decent. I watched it at home on HBO Max because it came out there for day and day in theaters, and I just decided to pop it on. Yeah, well, it's a movie. I don't. I mean, there's not. I wouldn't say it's like overall like. Basically, it's just about this kid who has to deliver a news or information to a news station, and there's these two gunmen after him and his father. And then he ends up in the wilderness somehow because his father drives him out there. And then I keep saying it, Angelina Jolie. Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's Angelina Jolie.
There's like 3 names going through my head every time I think about her. Anyways, Angelina Jolie's character is some drunk, like, PTSD-ridden chick that lives in a tower in the middle of a forest, and she finds this kid and helps him survive. And then the guys, I don't know. I mean, it's okay. I didn't hate it. I mean, this is a horrible review for a film. I didn't hate it. Yeah. I mean, that's really. I mean, it was fun to watch. But I mean, I wouldn't go out of your way to watch it. I guess.
I guess
it's not like. I mean, it's just kind of like one of those films you just put on and just watch, and then you're like, okay, I'll watch that. I don't know. So Greenland, I also watched that. That was a lot of fun.
You've been wanting to watch this for a while, and I own it, but
I know
I couldn't get the digital.
Yeah. You were so nice to Greenland. What's the guy's name? I'm so blanking on names today.
I am
Gerard Butler.
I was like, I haven't seen that, so
Gerard Butler.
As good as mine.
That's the main character in that film, and a main actor in that film. Basically, it's an apocalypse. This meteor is going to hit Earth, and he gets notification on his phone from the president that he's been picked to be able to survive the apocalypse, and he has to make it to this bunker with him and his family. Pretty good film, actually. It was really awesome.
It sounds a lot like Independence Day.
I've never seen Independence Day, but yeah, I mean, it was still super good. There was a lot more that happened outside of that, but yeah, it was overall a really good film. I enjoyed that a lot. I would recommend checking that out if you like. Just suspense in general. It was the whole movie was just like really really suspenseful.
I'll get there one day.
And I also watched The Woman in the Window.
You had a busy week for once.
I know, man. For once, I actually watched some films. No, honestly, what happened is I got Mass Effect Legendary Edition this weekend, and I played the first one, and I played for like, I don't know, it was like 6 hours, 7 hours straight, and I was like, all right, I need a break, and then I just watched like 3 movies. And the only reason I popped in, so The Woman in the Window, that's with Amy Adams, which I think that's her name. Is that her name?
I haven't seen this one either. So this is kind of.
Who's the chick that plays Lois Lane in Man of Steel?
Hold up, I'm on Letterboxd for Amy Adams.
But anyways,
Gary Oldman's in this. What the fuck?
He is.
Whack.
It is Amy Adams though.
It is. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So this is her. It's basically the movie. I saw this a while ago. Basically about a chick who is agoraphobic. Basically means she's afraid to go outside, and she looks out her window and sees her neighbors get murdered, and then like this whole crazy thing ensues where she thinks she's going crazy because the wife shows up and it's actually a different wife than what she had seen murdered, and then the cops are basically telling her she's going crazy, and then she's taking these pills and drinking, and so it's just like, it's like she's not sure what the hell's going on, basically. And it would look like a suspenseful kind of like scary horror film, like, there's a killer after her because she's actually uncovering what's going on at that house across the street. Yeah, no.
Anthony
The film
Mackie's in this too.
Oh yeah, he's
They just get Falcon and they just go Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like, hey, can we borrow your Captain America and your Falcon for a minute? Hold up.
I mean, yeah, because Kurt Russell's in this as well.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Kurt Russell's pretty cool in it too. He plays the tenant that lives downstairs of this chick, and he brings her like food and groceries, and he takes out her trash and shit like that.
Why would Anthony Mackie do this? What deal did he have to make?
Dude, Anthony Mackie was in this film like 2 minutes.
They were just like, we need some star power.
He was her husband.
God,
he was Amy Adams' husband, and he mostly was just doing phone calls, and then he was at the end of the film in a flashback. I will say the ending of the film is cool, but okay, so this film is very like intriguing to watch, and it's like it's fun to watch as she goes along and tries to figure this stuff out, and then like you find out the ending and what happened, and you're like, okay, that's kind of cool. But like none of this film was suspenseful or scary, and that's really what this film was sold on. You know, that's what the marketing was of the trailers. Like this was a scary film. You know, you're kind of like gonna be on the edge of your seat, kind of like what The Father was, but just like scary, like out of your mind. And it was very methodical as far as like how she uncovered things, and I wasn't, at no point was I like, oh my god, this is scary. There was like, but I will say the cinematography was really cool in this, because the way that they set it up throughout the whole film, at the end when they did the reveal of what she's like, some of the cinematography was how it showed, it was like, okay, that's cool.
There's this one review on Letterboxd that says, "Amy, please, is this a test of loyalty? Because I don't know how much more I can take."
I really want to read my review. I mean, you should read my review, even if you don't say anything, say it out loud. But it's funny because
I've read it 3 times now.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, because I remember reading it when you first told me you watched it, and I just read it again. Now I'm reading it now.
Yeah, I read it again. I'm reading it now. No, I just like it's funny because, yeah, I put spoilers in my review because I just thought it was funny. But yeah, I would recommend checking this out. I mean, it's I also would recommend those who wish me dead. I know I was being weird about that film, but I would recommend checking out all the films we talked about today. Bryce,
I watched one movie I want to talk about.
Yeah, I was about to ask you if you've watched anything.
I watched a lot of movies, but like, I have bad takes on some of them that people really like, and I just don't. I don't want to deal with the backlash of that.
For sure.
So,
okay, name one.
One what?
Just one film that you want that you don't want to get the backlash from.
A Woman Under the Influence by John Cassavetes from 1974.
So a lot of people like that film.
Oh, do they though? It has a 4.5 stars on Letterboxd.
Jeez.
I did not.
Like that at all?
Nope.
Wow.
I gave it 3.5 though, because I was like, I see why people like it, but I no. I'd even review it because I was like, I don't want to get into this.
Oh my god, the thing even says. Okay, sorry, I was looking ahead, but wow, that's crazy though. I mean, but here's the thing, though, and the reason I feel like you should never be afraid to speak your opinion on a subject or a film.
Oh no, I can speak my opinion when I actually feel like it, like I'm justified in it. But when I'm just like, I just like, I don't have a reason for it. I don't like it. I just don't fucking like it. So
well, that's the thing. I mean, you don't have to have a reason for why you like a film. I mean, look, the whole thing about when you watch a film, at least for me, and then I get people look at films differently, and so I'm not gonna say that I'm the de facto way to look at things. But I go to a film, I don't really care what other people think about it, or if, you know, case in point, what's the film that you watched that not Mank, but
No Man Land?
Nope, it's
Minari?
No, it's Mank is the one that was made on the other film.
Oh, Citizen Kane.
Yeah, Citizen Kane. That's the one where it's like the Rosebud is the thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. See, like Citizen Kane.
Rosebud is the thing.
Citizen Kane, other than that ending, I don't care for it. I mean, I don't care about the cinematography. It's not a good film. Maybe it's a good film for like studying and like cinematography wise, but it's not like I'm watching it. I'm like, this is not fun to watch. So that's the whole point. Is like, y'all can hate me for that, but like, I'm not having fun watching this film. I'm not having fun, you know?
Man, I've seen that movie 3 times now, and I still think it's good. Would I say it's the best film ever? No, but I enjoy it.
No, that's fair.
But I also look at it more in the historical context than anything else.
Right. No, I get that.
Like, you're more entertainment, and I'm over here like, this is an important film in history.
No, you are, and a lot of different, like I said, different people look at different things. When I'm more of a casual movie fan in the fact that when I watch a film, bar none, the only thing I care about is basically being entertained. And actually, so I've been looking up how to write movie reviews because I want my reviews to be. I don't know if you read my Army of the Dead one, but I want my reviews to be a little bit more structured and just kind of like easy, you know, more in depth than like.
You know, my most liked reviews are always one where I would just do like 4 words.
I know.
No, like, my Hamlet
especially on
review
Letterboxd
has like five like I think it's my most liked of 5 likes, which I mean isn't much, but all it says is I hate this movie. And my second one is Walkabout, which I watched like last year, and I said I'm pretty sure that if they took out all the scenes of animal butchery and scenery shots, there'd only be 30 minutes of actual runtime.
Choke me with that dead cat.
And like for some reason, all those reviews, like all the ones where I'm just like, yo, like. This movie sucks. Everyone's like, I'm like, validation, motherfucker.
I think people just like to, you know,
they like the shit post ones.
Yeah, exactly. But anyways, but a lot of people say you have to watch to watch a film 3 times to review it, and I'm like,
that. I don't got time for.
Are you kidding me? I'm like, no. The whole, honestly, I was like, that means it. No, I don't agree with that because like the whole point of a film is to watch it once. That's why, the director makes a film for you to watch once. Like I'm not supposed to have to go back and watch it 3 times to understand. I mean, I guess if I want to go more in depth about everything, but I'm like, as like a fan, like, and I'm like thinking of what reviews I want to look at. It's things that someone who went to see the film and what'd you think of it? Like, you saw it once. What'd you think? I don't agree with the fact that you have to see a movie 3 times to be able to give a good solid impression of how you felt.
That's fair. Yeah, no, I don't know.
But anyways, so that was one that you didn't like if people don't agree with. But what was the one film that you do want to talk about?
Actually, I have 2. I looked at my diary. I got 2. First one, Slacker. By Robert Altman.
You told me about this. Oh, you sent me a picture. And I say, what's that? And you're like, Slacker. I'm like, well, no shit. I was like, what is it about?
I was so fucked up for that day.
Were you? Okay.
I was really fucked up.
I swear, I looked at you. I was like, Bryce, come on. You know what I meant.
It's basically, God, I don't even want to say day in the life, but yeah, it's like a day in the life film. But what happens is like one character will talk to a character, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say another character walks in the scene and like says something, and then the camera will follow that character instead. So it keeps transferring and showing how one person's action and what they do can affect a shit ton of people throughout the city.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So like it's so interesting to me though, because like it just seems like here, I'm just gonna read the synopsis.
Sure.
Austin, Texas is an Eden for the young and unambitious. From the enthusiastically eccentric to the dangerously apathetic, here the nobly lazy can eschew. Oh my God, I've never seen that word before. Responsibility in favor of nursing their historic. Bro, this is supposed to be a movie about slackers. There's a lot of big words in this fucking thing.
You're a slacker for not having read it before. No,
Obsessions. The locals include a backseat philosopher who passionately expounds on his dreams, theories to his... I'm not reading this. This makes no fucking sense.
Yeah. Actually, just read the synopsis halfway through it. No, I'm good. Never mind. I'm gonna slag out on this.
I was like, this has nothing to do with what happened in the movie, because all it was one person going and affecting someone else, and that person going and affecting someone else.
So you told me about this, right? And I was like, that's actually... I mean, so most of the time, when you tell me about your films, I'm like, Bryce, I don't care. But this one, I was like, you know what? Actually, that sounds kind of cool. Because, I mean, it just sounds like something I haven't seen before. In terms of, like, going... Because, like, kind of like a one-take-ish, right? Where they're, like, going...
No, there's cuts, but it's just one character, and it'll move to another one.
Okay, that's fair.
And show, a little bit of their life, and then go to another character, and show a little bit of what's happening to them, and go to a different character.
I don't know, that's kind of cool.
It's like one dude
telling a story through multiple people.
Well, there's, like, Richard Linklater, who's the director, not Richard Altman. Richard Altman's a different director. I have to say that.
Okay.
Richard Linklater basically, like, he stars as this kid. He gets in a cab. He tells the cab driver, like, hey, you ever think about how, like, there could be other parallel universes where, like, if you don't make a decision to do this, then a whole different timeline gets branched.
Mm-hmm.
There's this whole spiel about, like, parallel universe kind of things, and that follows a different character from his story and just keeps going. So it's like, if that guy hadn't gone in the cab, all these other people's shit would have been changed.
Wow.
So I was like, that's so fucking interesting for me.
That is interesting.
And I was like, is it like a visually amazing film? No, it's not. But, like, there's, like, a scene where, like, these kids are just running around causing mayhem. You follow them and they, like, kick a machine, get cokes out of it. And then they just go up to these, like, people walking in the street and starts trying to sell cokes, and it just follows the people walking the street from the kids giving them cokes. One person's actions affects so many people around them.
Wow.
That's what I took out of it. I don't know if that's right.
No, I mean,
that's how my views were.
That sounds really cool to watch, though. I mean, I like that.
Yeah, there was, like, the characters were all pretty interesting. I was like, wow, this is pretty fucking good. Like,
wow, pretty good.
And then last Tuesday, Criterion released their new edition of Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Oh yeah. I actually haven't seen this film, and that's one film that I should. It's been on my list forever.
This movie was amazing. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, this is. I mean, I've been looking forward to watch this forever. I just, honestly, I've just kind of written it off because it just looks very 80s-ish, but not like fun 80s-ish. I don't know what to say. Like, just the poster of it. Like, every time I look at it, I'm just like,
oh hell yeah. But I was talking to my dad and his girlfriend about this movie, and they actually said that, like, when this movie came out, my dad's girlfriend was a junior in high school.
Wow.
So, like, this movie was her, like, she said this was the most accurate depiction of high school life back then.
Well, okay, actually, that's fair, man. I'm glad it actually, because there's a lot of films that don't actually show like the true thing. It just makes some shit up, you know.
Well,
like an actual depiction is nice.
I was like, there's like this one character who's actually not Jason. What's her name? God damn it.
She was Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Yeah, she's 20 years old when this movie came out, and she plays a 15-year-old. And like the first thing that happens in the movie is she like hooks up with a 24-year-old. And I was like, I found that very uncomfortable. But when my dad's girlfriend's like, no, shit like that actually happened.
Whoa.
So I was like, well, if you say so, because you lived there, I guess. Like,
I guess I could see it.
But yeah, I was blown away, man. Like, there's one character who is the best character. His name is Sean Penn.
Mm-hmm.
Who I actually think he's in the movie.
He looks familiar
recently, but he plays this guy named Jess Spicoli, and he's just a burned out like stoner surfer dude, and he's the funniest fucking character in the thing. And Forrest Whitaker's in it. It took me like 10 scenes with Forrest Whitaker for me to go, that's fucking Forrest Whitaker, isn't it? Like,
well, how do you not notice Forrest Whitaker? I mean, was his eye not?
His eye, yeah, his eye was like down, like, you know, his eye thing. But he's so young that I was just like, it didn't register in my head that was Forrest Whitaker.
Wow.
Because like he's got that eye, and he's like he's a football captain in high school, so he's young.
Oh, he's young.
He's like sitting there, and he's like ready to hike, and I saw the eye, and I was like, is that fucking Forrest Whitaker? Hold the fuck up! Like,
this is a movie I need to see too, and I'm looking at
Good Morning Vietnam.
Yeah,
I need to watch that too. But no, this movie was absolutely.
Oh, plus it's only an hour and a half. That's not bad.
Yeah, it's short. It's funny. It's enjoyable. Like it's like an iconic 80s film. I see it. I get it. I'm like watching it. I'm like this is like The Breakfast Club, man. Like it fits the 80s so well.
That makes sense. Well, I definitely should check that out. Actually, another 80s movie that I need to check out is Pretty in Pink.
I own that on Blu-ray. I haven't seen it yet though.
I own the on SD. Gross. That's horrible. I need to buy it again. I see SD. I'm like, that's the worst kind I could get. What's wrong with me? Okay, so that I'm glad you found some cool films while we were watching, Bryce.
I do. This week, I'm going to LA tomorrow.
You are? That's exciting.
I'm gonna go see the Hollywood sign, Walk of Fame. Gonna have fun, and
you'll talk about that next week.
I'm probably gonna be watching Flowers of Shanghai, which is Criterion's newest release tonight.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, it's like a time traveling courtesan. I don't fucking know. I don't even know if it's time travel, dude.
Oh, I like time travel.
I've heard them like a
travel?
time bending experience. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that means. I don't have a clue. But
weird.
But I'm excited to watch that. Don't know if there's any new movies coming out this week we're watching.
No, I don't think so.
Damn, what a shame. I gotta watch Those Who Wish Me Dead, but I've seen reviews and I'm like, deterred.
I mean, here's the thing about that. I mean, the film is like
it's subjective, but I'm like, I have a lot of Criterion movies to watch, so I really don't want to waste my time watching.
I keep hesitating because like I liked it and it was good, but it was just like there was nothing like I need to rave about. You know, go watch this film. Like it was just whatever. Like
yeah, I'm like I got a lot of Criterion films to watch, so I don't know if I want to take 2 hours out of my life to go watch an Angelina Jolie movie. That's
like
just
you'll
average.
watch it, and you'll just be like, okay, I just watched it. Like I don't. Like I really don't know what else to talk about the film because it's not bad. It's not a bad film at all. Like it's just like you just watch it and you're like I just watched that film. I just don't.
It's not Mortal Kombat where you know people are gonna want to talk about it. So
yeah.
I have people at work talking to me about Mortal Kombat, and all I can think about is like, why would you watch that? Like it's not good.
Well, okay, it's the big new movie out, right? So that's probably why people are watching and talking about it. Even if it's not good, this is the first time in over a year that I think people have, besides King Kong, but like just King Kong and this one.
My thing is, like, my people I work with don't even, like, they haven't watched King Kong yet either. So I'm like, they keep being like, oh, I'm going to check it out. And I'm like, no, you're not.
No, you're not.
You're not going to check it out. You're just asking me what I thought about it because you know I watch movies.
That's funny. Well, guys, with that down, we're going to move on to our Filmverse feature. Each week we pick a movie that we want the other person to see. And this week I chose Se7en, which follows Morgan Freeman's character who's retiring. And Brad Pitt's character, which is the new detective, and they discover a number of elaborate and grisly murders following the 7 deadly sins. And basically, I guess I should say, they soon realize they're dealing with a serial killer that likes to kill with his 7 deadly sins. And what's his bucket's wife finds out she's pregnant, and
what's his bucket's
Brad Pitt's wife, which is Gwyneth Paltrow, finds out she's pregnant, and she's afraid to raise her child basically in the crime-ridden city of Gotham. Not really Gotham. And she tells Morgan Freeman's character, Lucius Fox. No, I'm just kidding. But she doesn't let her husband know. The reason I mention that is because that's actually it's in the synopsis.
It's fucking crazy.
I know. This film was, I want to say, probably just really just a standard, film up until that last like 10 minutes, and that was a banger, dude. I was just like, yo, you didn't, and then they did, and I'm like, they did, and then I was like, all right, this better happen, because like in that scenario, like, I mean, I probably want to spoil this because like if you watch it and you haven't known what it is.
1997. I knew about the ending back when I was like 4.
I know. I guess we could. No, fuck it. Let's just spoil it because it's
everyone knows the line "What's in the box." Even if you haven't seen the movie, you know the line.
So I hadn't known it, but anyway, who cares? So, bro, the killer cut off his wife's head, Brad Pitt's head. Wife's head.
You know it's up for debate though.
No, he did.
No, it's up for debate because like some people are thinking the fetus is in there. Like the unborn kid. Like there's all sorts of theories about what's actually in the box because they never show you what's in the box.
Yeah, okay, here's the thing though.
How fucked up would it be if it's the fetus, dude?
Okay, no, if it was the fetus or like, okay, if it was anything though, because that's why, it had to have been something like important because Morgan Freeman wouldn't have ran over there and said like, he would have been like, nah, nothing's in there, you know? He would have been like, come look, like, you know?
Come look, dead baby.
Honestly though, I think they should have shown, I think they should have shown it. Because it would have made it. I mean, I don't know. It just feels like because you're right though. Because like there is no actual resolution in that sense. If you think about it, like you could just bring up, well, you never actually looked what was in the box. We don't actually know what was in the box. So maybe his wife's head wasn't in there. Maybe it was something else. You know, and maybe Morgan Freeman just didn't say something. I don't know. But
okay, so oh god, there's like a lot of things. So, according to The Ringer, which I guess did an article about this. A woman named Shay Sharano, don't know who the fuck that is. Let me make sure. Okay, so he's an author for their website. Never mind. I don't know how credibility this is.
Okay.
It would be fucked up though. Fuck. I forgot. I lost it. I lost the thing. It was. Okay, he says, I know what's in the box. I definitely know what it is. The implication is that it's Gwyneth Paltrow's head.
Right.
But that's not what it is. What it actually is far more valuable and far mysterious, and a secret that the movie goes out of its way to avoid spilling. The thing that's in the box is a slip of paper with the name of the city where the movie takes place. That's why John Doe has the upper hand. Everyone else in the movie agreed to never ever say what the city. What the fuck? This better be a joke. It'd be fucking nuts though. Like there's nothing in the box. He's just fucking with him again to kill him.
I don't know. That just sounds weird to me, man.
Was Tracy's head in the box?
Yeah. Anyways, I mean, there's a bunch of I guess there's theories out there about that, but I'm just gonna go with the assumption that it was his wife's head.
It has to be the head. You know, by now it has to be the head. But also, I'm like,
I mean, this wasn't based on a true story, was it?
No.
Okay. Well, then yeah. I mean, it's her head. I'm just gonna go with that because why else would he say it's her head and then Morgan Freeman not say anything? So yeah. The really good film at the end there. I don't know. It felt very much like his other film we watched last week, which was Zodiac. It was very just like a lot of like just paperwork and pushing information around and talking and bars. And it had a very indie feel and not that much suspense. But when there was suspense, it did feel actually like legit.
I just really like the vibe of this movie. Like this is what Spiral should have felt like to me, like a detective film with like traps and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I did kind of feel some Spiral vibes, or I guess Saw vibes ish, you know,
just
with
like the way people were like killed and shit, and like the feeling the city gave me. I was like, this feels like a Saw film to me.
I definitely see that. So Bryce, what are we planning on watching next week? I know you wonder what? Yeah,
we're gonna continue on our David Fincher train.
Hooray!
Because this is our second one in a row, so we're just going to continue it, and we're going to go on to The Social Network.
I really don't like Jesse Eisenberg, but I'll watch his films.
Andrew Garfield's in it.
He is?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm okay with that. I love Andrew Garfield. It makes me so happy. I don't know why. I turn my whole thing around. I'm like, I don't care. I like him.
Yeah, no, I'm just like, I was like looking at what I have on the list for things for you to watch, and I was like, "There's Social Network," and I was like, "Yeah, fuck it, we're already watching David Fincher films. Let's just continue the train."
I really like Andrew Garfield though. He's a good. I don't know. It's not just a Spider-Man, but just like Hacksaw Ridge, and then what else did I see him in? I don't even know.
He was quoted. They asked him like, what he would ever do if he didn't have money, and he was like, "If I ever run out of money, I'm just gonna go out and have people pay me to whisper my fucking car's in the cleaner, and my Prada's the cleaners," which is a line he says on the Social Network.
Oh my god, that's funny. Well, sweet. So we got Social Network next week. That'll be fun to watch. All right, guys. Well, that is all for this week, and thank you for joining us.
Hey, hold up. So 7 had like 5 alternate endings.
What? What do you mean?
They had like 5 alternate endings written down to do.
Wait, you saying that they had 5 alternate endings in the script, and that they shot?
I don't even know they were shot, but it just says like alternate ending 1: the race to save Tracy's life.
Just like that the directors were considering, or
because
it's like it's different if like the directors were just considering it rather than if they were actually filmed and put in the theaters, or if they were filmed and put as extra credits.
It's not like Clue where they were like, let's release a different ending in each different part. But I assume these were just ones they'd played with. Like they were like, yeah, we thought about doing one where he goes and saves Tracy. We thought to do one where Somerset kills him. We thought to do one where less dramatic version. What the fuck does that mean? That's for the conclusion.
There's no extras. Huh? Well, I mean that's cool that they did that. Ow, my hip.
Oh, a lot of these were just storyboarded and thought of.
Okay,
but they had like a fuck ton. Ooh, Fincher had a preferred ending.
Wow. Well, thank you guys as we joined talking a slew of movie news, Spiral, Army of the Dead, 7, and various other bits of content. New episodes come out every Tuesday, so be sure to follow us and turn on notifications to get updates every time we post. If you want to keep up with our activities outside the airwaves, you can stalk us on Instagram, where we very randomly and rarely post at Into the Filmverse podcast.
We have our days where we're like, oh shit, we should post something, and then like there's times where I'm like, I don't know what to post, so I'm not gonna post anything.
I know I could post movie stuff.
I just feel weird just posting like a poster of what we're watching and be like, check us out in the night. Like I'm like,
see, okay, well I can talk about it first, but all right, well, Bryce,
you're like behind the scenes shit.
Where can people follow you in your wonderful adventures?
You can find me at Letterboxd at Payne Reviews, Payne Reviews. I post a review. I try to watch a movie a day at least, so like there's usually a new entry every day. And you can find me on Instagram at Payne Loves Cinema. I don't post very much there either. I think my last thing was when I got my Criterion shirt in.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, it was my cupcakes I made for the Oscars. That's what my last thing I posted was.
Your sad Oscars.
And then it was so depressing. I was so excited. And then I have a Twitter at Sanguine Films.
And you can stay connected with Mytchel Chandler by simply following me on Facebook and Instagram at author Mytchel Chandler, on Twitter at Mytchel Chandler, and Letterboxd at Mitch Reviews. And remember, Mitch is spelled with a Y, so that's Mytch. Ooh woo. That's all for this week, our fellow cinephiles, and until next time,
Excelsior!
True believers. Why do I say that every time?